Welcome to the stress-free coding video, Angular Part 11. I'm stoked, so let's start right away. Today I will talk to you about these topics: how to read a single resource calling a REST API, how to read a query parameters, what is a routerLink, what is a queryParams. Hey, stop. Okay, maybe I'm exaggerating. Let's take this one step at a time. Leave me just a few seconds to summarize what was done in the previous video. We have connected the web server to the database using a query to read the list of articles directly from the SQL table. We have foreseen the possibility of returning a single article by passing the ID of element in the URL. Now start the web server node index.js and then start the Angular application. Open your localhost. If everything was done correctly, the code to the web server should work without code changes. Let's move on to modifying our Angular application to read a single resource and load it into the article detail component. First of all, open Data Provider Service and rename Article List Interface to Article to avoid confusion. Visual Studio Code helps us to do renaming operation. In fact, it's enough to move the cursor on the name of a variable or on the name of a function or any other symbol and then press F2. Type a new name you want to assign. This change will take effect throughout the project. Now we prepare an input parameter for the getArticleList method. Add ID type any with default value null. Declare a string variable named filter. Check if ID parameter is a valid number and then set up filter string in this way. Then we concatenate filter to API URL If ID is not a valid number, the method returns complete list, otherwise returns a single product associated with this ID. Now open article list component.html and change the anchor tag contains article name. In the previous video we had routerLink attribute. This attribute was added the time I told you about routing, and it's used when we want to redirect from one component to another component. When applied to an element in a template, makes that element a link that initializes navigation to a route. Navigation opens one or more routed components in one or more router outlet location of a page. You can also use dynamic values to generate the link. For a dynamic link, pass an array of path segments followed by the params of each segment. Now we had another attribute, the queryParams. queryParams is an array when we set up query parameters to the URL. Now open article-detail.component.ts and define a new member class. Title, type string, equals empty string, article detail, type any, ID, type number, equals 0. Now we inject two modules in the constructor method, a reference to a data service provider and the reference to activated route. Activated route will need to read the parameters passed in the URL address. In the ng-on-init method, set a page title that you prefer. For example, this title equal article detail. And then we use subscribe method to read a query parameters. Subscribe is a method that connects the observer to observable events. Whenever any change is made in this observable, a code is executed and observes the results of it or changes using the subscribe method. At the same way, we use subscribe method to read the first element returned from the data provider service call. And finally, we expose article details properties in the HTML page of article detail component style, font, weight, bold, print title, name, article detail dot name, product number, size, weight, and an image with article detail, image, URL, with 25%, 25%, close tag. Save all. Now, open a new session of Visual Studio Code of a web server project and run it with the command node index.js, and then run the Angular server, open browser. Okay, if everything has been done correctly, we will be able to view article detail when click on its name. Okay, that's all for today. Like and subscribe to the channel for the next free stress coding video. Bye!